Let's do a spring plan with me in my checklist layout. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com. Today I'm going to plan in my catch-all planner, and I'm using the checklist layout. And I can't wait to talk a little bit more about the checklist layout as I plan using the beautiful Happy in Paris sticker book from the Happy Planner. I love this sticker book. It's so pretty and it just screams spring to me. So I'm excited to dig into it. As always, I will link everything that I use in the description box below. Otherwise, let's get planning. All right, so reasons I love the checklist layout. I find this so very functional and so fun to decorate. So when I first started planning back in the day, I used the vertical layout, which I think is a common starting point for a lot of people. It is easy to decorate. It's easy to divide up your day into morning, noon, night, or tasks and habits. And I found myself loving the vertical layout. However, when I got a little bit busier, when the kids' activities picked up, when I had more things going on in my day, I decided it just didn't feel like it fit everything that I wanted it to have. So at that point, I moved to the dashboard layout, which is another really functional, versatile layout, but I missed decorating the vertical style. I used the dashboard layout for a full year and just decided I wanted something different, and the checklist layout kind of stood out to me. It has so much function with the lists built in. I am a list maker and I always have been. I like seeing a list. I love checking off a list. I feel like there's nothing more satisfying than putting that little check mark next to the things that you've gotten done that day. And this one feels like a vertical. It feels like there's a ton of room to decorate and still keep the functionality in the spread. And so I've started using the checklist layout this year, have fallen in love with it, and I find it to be the most functional layout for me and how my day and my week unfold. In general, the way I set up my checklist layout is the top row of boxes, the one that's completely blank right now. That is where I have our family schedule. So the practices, the appointments, the important things that are happening during the day are all up in the top section. Then it's the tasks, things that I get done. I literally have to write the same tasks sometimes multiple days. Every single day there's laundry, so I always have that on the checklist. This is where I put chores, errands to run, different emails that need to get sent to teachers and things like that. All of that gets put on the checklist. I rarely actually end up using all of the different checklists, the bullets on this list, but I love that there are plenty on there so that if it is a busier day, then I can use all of those and have plenty of space. The bottom section tends to be flexible for me, and this is what I'm really loving about it, is that on busier weeks, if I have a lot of different appointments, they can spill over to the bottom section. I can use the bottom section for habit tracking or gratitude. There's lots of different ways to do it. This particular week, we are headed out of town to visit family, and so I don't have quite as many things to write down, so I can use the bottom section as completely decorative, which is what I am doing here. It just feels like the checklist layout gives me an opportunity to decorate and have function. And that's my favorite thing to do with this particular hobby. I love decorating my planners. It's so relaxing and so fun. I love opening up to these pages that are already decorated just to enjoy them and fill in my week. And then it really does help me stay on top of the tasks that I have to get done throughout the week. And the list format helps me so very much. So I'm using the Happy in Paris sticker book from the Happy Planner. It's kind of like their squad girls went to Paris. It's so beautiful, definitely screams spring. And creating this beautiful scene here at the bottom, I chose some plaid washi tape to set the tone, almost like grass, but a little bit elevated. The Eiffel Tower is going to have to wait. It's going to have to come over in a different place. I'm setting the scene down low, and then we'll start to add functionality as we go. Starting with the sidebar, I like to have the sidebar. That's where I put meal planning for the week. We are traveling this week, so I might end up putting some of the restaurants we hope to visit, or I could list out all kinds of things. That might be a good packing list place. There's lots of opportunity to change up on the side. I know a lot of people like to use the sidebar to set a focus or a goal for the week, an intention perhaps. You could keep a prayer list over there. You could keep a gratitude list over there. There's lots of opportunities for things that you could use in that particular area. Now, I use an undated insert. These checklist layout inserts are available over in my shop, and I like undated inserts because I do like to change up my layout month to month. And if I'm using undated, then it doesn't feel like I'm wasting anything. So I'm going to use these little banners up at the top to add a little bit of color. Instead of washi tape, we're just going to go with the banners. And then over top of those, I will layer on the dates. And for the dates, I'm using Mojo Jojo Plans, her Dated Basics Volume 1, actually. So this is a couple years old. I do believe she has another dated sticker book, and Kelva Plan has one, Wrong has one. There's a lot of different dated sticker books out there. It makes it really easy to utilize these undated spreads. And then to give a different feel to the top, I went ahead and used whiteout for the days of the week, and I'm going to replace those with this beautiful cursive that felt a little bit more fancy, a little bit more Paris-like. I kind of wish we were going to Paris on this particular week. We are not. We're visiting family in Texas, but it's still going to be a beautiful spring week, culminating in Easter, which is going to be so fantastic. Once I have the dates on there, then I turn to the function. Like I said, I use this top row of boxes for schedules, things that are on the schedule for the week. And I like to use functional boxes to set off the different events of the week. We are traveling, but my kids do have some things going on, some different gymnastics tryouts and band tryouts that are happening while we are visiting family in Texas. So I definitely want to mark those on the calendar. So I'm trying to figure out how best to balance the different things. We have a lot at the beginning of the week. We need to schedule or have our flight info towards the end of the week, and I want a balance with the boxes. That can be really hard when you're using this as an actual functional spread. Some planners like to just decorate how they think it should look and then just work with it from there as far as the functionality. For me, I have to have the function there. It has to make sense for how I'm going to use my week, but then I also want it to be aesthetically pleasing. So trying to come up with a balance for that can be the hard part. I'm going to bring in these arched boxes. I've heard some people call these tombstone stickers before, which feels a little dark, but I guess they do kind of look like tombstones. I'm going to use one on each side, again, balance, and I'm working on balancing out color now as well. There's already a lot of color going on. So I just want to make sure that I'm balancing where all of the color is. So for instance, I have an orange box over there on the left-hand side. I'm going to need to find a balance for that on the right-hand side. I also felt like I needed a full box for Easter Sunday because we'll definitely have some plans, some things going on. So I want to have plenty of room to write for that. And there's that balance there for the Saturday before. So we have an orange box on both sides. Now I am transferring the stickers from the sticker guide. The sticker guide is this plastic sheet you can get from the Happy Planner that allows you to kind of plan out where your stickers are going to go. And if you're like me and change your mind as you're planning, the sticker guide makes it easy to move the stickers around. And then when you're sure you know where they're going to go, you just take them off of the guide and put them down onto the paper. It has saved me many a torn stickers using the sticker guide, for sure, because I do change my mind as I'm going. Things kind of balance. I got to look at colors and shapes and sizes and all of that business to figure out where things will look best on my spread and still be functional. So the sticker guide allows me to kind of play with that. And as I'm transferring the functional boxes over, that is the point where I'm also adding a few decorative elements, because now I know where I have room for the decorative elements and where I do not have room for them. So we're going to have a few of those kind of going around at the top. I'm loving how it's looking. I could definitely stop there, but I had a few more things I wanted to add. That "Enjoy Today" quote, I completely forgot it was on the sticker guide. It does make its way onto the final spread in the end. You just won't see it in this video because I just had moved it off to the side and completely forgotten. Now I have some florals in the bottom two corners. I decided let's fill in the top corners as well. So I'm going to take the corner pieces and put them up here so they kind of reflect what is happening at the bottom and it frames in the whole spread. That works out really well. I also remembered that my daughter has a color guard clinic all week this week, and I want to make sure that I notate that in some way. A great way of bringing in those kind of week-long things, those things that take a little bit more time, is through washi tape. And in this case, I'm going to use faux washi. I'm going to start with a box that will have the clinic information right here. And I'm going to bring in this faux washi, these floral stickers that will extend Monday through Thursday. And that allows me to see that that clinic is going to continue through the week. So it's not just a one-day clinic, it's going to last the whole week. And now I have the faux washi there to notate that. I just have to cut it off. I'm going to use this little precision knife right here. This is from Kelva Plan. It's great for cutting stickers. And then I'll do this part right here covering Thursday. Yes, it takes up one of my checklists. Not a big deal though, because like I said, we're traveling. So it's not as big of a checklist kind of week for me. There's also plenty of room to add different headers. I'm going to add a few florals to soften some of the edges up here where all my girls are hanging out. But you can bring in headers for your checklist. I like to do my checklist by day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, each checklist goes with each day. You can also change it up and have different categories of your life and use a header. So you might have a chore checklist, a work checklist, a grocery checklist that you are just checking off throughout the week, but it has its own box in the middle. That might be a great way to kind of adapt the checklist layout to make it work for how your brain thinks, especially if you're coming up with different categories and such for your to-do lists. Once the headers are done, then that's going to be it for this layout. Let me know what you think of the spring layout down below, and let me know if you have tried the checklist layout and what your thoughts are. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have linked all of the supplies that I use down in the description box below. And I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon community. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I hope that all of you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.